Okay, get that out of the way. Levels.
Levels.
So, are you ready for the big game this weekend?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Liverpool versus Man City. I mean, it's going to be really, really good.
That's not what I meant. Had I meant that, I would have said, "Are you ready for the big match this weekend?" I said big game.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's my fault. Oh, you mean the Olympics then? Yeah. I'm ready for that as well.
That's dozens of events. There may be a game. What do you call curling? I don't know. No, the big game.
Sorry, not tracking.
The superb owl.
Oh. Wait, is the NFL still going on?
Yeah, big game this weekend. Did you think it was over?
Well, I mean, the NFL ended for me 2 weeks ago, so it's over for me. Okay, so wait, are you ready for it?
Oh no, it ended for me 3 weeks ago. We're headed to the theater on Sunday night. Hi, toddlers. Welcome to Talking to Todd, a weekly podcast with Dwayne Johnson and Todd Prinz, where failure is always an option. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Todd.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad. Just hanging out here where it's cold.
Really?
It's all relative.
Cold for you. Cold for Lisa.
Yeah. So Lisa is spending the week with the dogs in the undisclosed location. Hey, Amy. So it was 71 there today. It was not 71 here today. However, it was still warmer than where you are. So depending on who you ask, I'm here where it's cold.
Between you and my mother, Mom texted me this morning. Yeah, it's only 70 here, but Dad's going to go play golf anyway. That was a 2-for-1. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, right? Like I'm not where it's 71. I'm just passing along information that apparently Lisa was more than happy to let me know. She let me know three things. Number one, her and the dogs were headed out for their walk. Number two, the dogs were very excited because we're going to get to stop by and say hi to Wrigley. And number three, they were doing all of this while it was 71 degrees. Meanwhile, I was in a meeting where I wasn't walking. I wasn't getting to say hi to Wrigley, who's a good boy, and it wasn't 71 degrees. So Lisa won the day.
So two questions.
Yep.
2 questions.
A question and a follow-up.
Yes, a question and a follow-up. The more important one first. Brixton has recovered?
It was Preston.
Oh, it was Preston. Excuse me.
It was Preston, and he has eventually recovered, and our floors are now recuperating themselves.
Good. I suppose that could have gone under follow-up.
Yeah.
And then B, do you think the dogs know in advance that they're going to see Wrigley, or is it more of a surprise?
So here's what's now happening. When we're down there, we have a walking route. We have like 3 walking routes we take the dogs on. One of the routes we actually refer to as the Wrigley Loop because we go past Wrigley's house. When we go there, both of the dogs try to go up the driveway to go say hi to Wrigley. And if he's not home, the dogs will actually stop in the yard and bark to let him know if they can't hear him. And the same thing happens when Wrigley is out for a walk. There have been times where Yvonne shows up and rings our doorbell, and they were across the road, and Wrigley, who is much bigger than our dogs, has pulled her across the street to come and say hi to Preston and Brixton. And about 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, we were out for a walk, walked past Wrigley's house. He was in the backyard barking. Our dogs heard it, started barking, and then we continued walking. 45 seconds later, you hear their front door opens and Wrigley comes bolting out, running across the road. Yvonne comes over to catch him and said he was in the backyard barking. Then he ran to the front door and started banging on the front door. She opened it up to see what was going on, and he bolted to come running over and see Preston and Brixton. So do they know? Apparently, yes. They very much like to see each other. They just hang out. They just hang out. That's a lot of dog information, but it's very adorable.
Yes. Yep, it is very adorable, I bet. Let's see. A couple of feedback follow-up updates notes here.
Yep.
From Toddler 401k.
Yep.
I've been waiting since I started listening years ago for this very moment. You both brought the same idiot. Fantastic. Also, on the purses, I guessed almost along the same lines as Dwayne, except for the last one. And when he said 75,000, I thought, oh, well, he overshot. I was wrong.
Danny, I'm glad you're playing along. That's the point of the games.
Item number 3, follow-up to the cookie episode Out of Time, where I was talking about the stoner cookies that we received accidentally.
Yeah.
What he wants is for us to eat one and then record an episode Out of Time.
He listened to the episode in which the person who sent you the cookie gave you explicit instructions, please do not eat that, then called back within 10 minutes to make sure that you understood that you were not to eat that, and then drove across Los Angeles in the middle of the day to take it from you, to make sure that you did not eat that, because he was that concerned for your safety. Meanwhile, one of our toddlers is like, ignore all of that. I would love to see what happens if you just do it.
Yeah, and because the initial instructions were certainly don't eat more than 1/8 of it. And if you do, wait for more than 30 minutes. Meanwhile, Danny, eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Danny.
And record it.
Yes, definitely record it. Definitely. Jesus.
Chug it. No.
Chug. Yeah. I didn't have any other feedback this week.
Yep, none for me.
I did have one.
Actually,
this came courtesy of toddler number 6 when we were talking about the Australian
prisons. Oh, sorry, the Australian Open.
Could have been talking about the Australian prisons.
Would have made more sense.
I said Alcatraz. It's Alcaraz or Alcaraz?
Alcaraz.
It's Alcaraz, not Alcatraz.
Yeah.
Who was participating, who actually won the Australian?
Yes, he did, thereby completing his career slam. I believe he's 22 years old and has won 7 Grand Slams and has completed the career slam at 22. Apparently, he's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Somebody ought to talk to Rafi about that.
Someone should keep an eye on this guy. He might be going places. Also, while Federer had to deal with Djokovic and Nadal, apparently Alcaraz has the board wide open for him. So he could do some damage.
Wow, 7 by 22. Couple of pieces of follow-up. I was waiting for you to bring this, but you didn't. I was also waiting for Lindsay to bring this, but apparently she hasn't listened to the sports episode yet.
Probably not.
Nowhere on our list did we include the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
If at some point Lindsay does listen, she's going to have thoughts.
Yes. Yeah, good point. Now that you mentioned that, yeah, that didn't register. Uh-oh.
Can't believe I came up with that before you did.
Yeah. Yeah. We may have to drop an edit in there. Just yeah. I also brought for follow up. A few weeks ago, Dwayne guessed the number was about World Cup parking prices.
Yep.
Yeah. So I brought some numbers and they seem pretty high. More parking prices have been released. Makes the ones we talked about pretty sweet.
Should have bought in early, is what you're saying?
Not all of the locations had released their parking prices yet. So we talked about Dallas and Philadelphia. SoFi parking passes are now available. SoFi is going to hold in Los Angeles, or in Inglewood, is going to host 8 World Cup matches, including the U.S. team's opener and a quarterfinal. For those 2 matches, the U.S. and the quarterfinal, a single parking spot is priced at $300 to park.
Well, conveniently, if you can't afford the parking, SoFi will loan you the money.
Oh, well, there we go. Do you want to find out what kind of financing plan do you want to put on your parking? For the other 6 matches, a parking pass costs $250. Now, Category 3 tickets to some of those games cost up to $180. So you may be paying more for the parking than you are for the ticket to go to the match.
If you're going by yourself, if you're not cramming 4 people in to your car.
True. Yes. Yeah. Here's the fun part. The $250 spots appear to be either in or near the VIP West garage at the Intuit Dome, right? Which is where the Clippers play. So it's about a mile or so walk.
Or they're busing you?
There you're going to be walking. So you're going to be walking for that one.
Oh, sweet Lord.
To park in that garage for Clippers games, $56 for the NBA game.
Sounds like the Bears games. Yes. Perfect.
$250 or $300 for the World Cup. For the NBA All-Star game, it cost $88. And for NFL Rams games, $71.
Yes, see, that's in line. That's in line with the Bears right there. Yep.
You know that the World Cup is stupid expensive. When compared to NFL prices, it seems like you're getting a bargain from the NFL.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
But the NFL has 10 home games whereby they can make their money on the parking. You only get the one World Cup opportunity. Or 2 or 3.
There's what? Are there 48 teams? That's 47. There's 47 matches for the entire tournament. But yeah, I mean, SoFi's getting 8 matches, which is as many home games as you will get.
That's fair.
Most NFL seasons.
Most years. Yes. Yes.
By the way, you did mention, will they bus you? It does point out, this article also points out that a number of cities have set up park and ride lots, partially because the security perimeter for all of these stadiums is quite large. So it said that for instance, at Arrowhead in Kansas City, normally they have 20,000 parking spaces available, right? Between, if you think about Arrowhead and Kauffman, Royals, whatever that is, 20,000.
The Truman Sports Complex. Jake would have our asses if I didn't drop in Truman Sports Complex.
Is that anywhere near the George Brett Superhighway? Anyway,
right next to it. Yes, it is.
Okay, cool.
Right.
So for an NFL game, they have 20,000 parking spaces available. When they host the World Cup match, they're only going to have 4,000 spaces available because the rest of it is going to be the security perimeter and the fan zone and whatever. So they're reducing the number of spots, which also means you can pay more. So they are going to do park and ride, where you can park and then ride shuttle buses in. Those will also cost you parking. you have to pay in the park and ride lots. It will include the shuttle bus, but you only get to ride the shuttle bus for free if you park in a paid park and ride lot. Man's going to get his money. The man's going to get his money
every time.
Yep. And trust me, FIFA's
time.
the man. FIFA is absolutely the man. And not in a good way. Not like, hey, you demand. No. The other way. Anyway, enough there on sports parking. What else do we have?
You know what we have?
And I'm here, Yas Queen, to remind Todd of the mess Todd made when he answered wrong. Todd oughta know.
That's right. Thanks to the Dino Toddler, we have that fantastic theme music for Todd Oughta Know. Todd, in the cold open, you mentioned the Winter Olympics.
That's what made it a cold open. Sorry. That was uncalled for. By the way, quick side note.
Yes.
The last one that we listened to, because we're like 2 or 3 episodes behind due to driving, I dropped just a terrible pun. It was really bad. I don't even remember what it was, but it was bad. It was good. It was a good pun. A really good pun means it's really bad.
I believe it broke me at the end of the episode.
I think so. Yes.
Yes.
At which point, Lisa sighed heavily and then said, I expect this kind of behavior from Dwayne, but when you do it, it just disappoints me. Anyway, please, let's continue the festivities around the Olympics.
I wasn't disappointed. I was just proud. That's why I couldn't talk. Okay, so I have 3 questions for you for Todd Oughta Know, all about the Winter Olympics.
Okay.
So question number 1, Todd.
Yep.
What scandal is rocking the Norway Olympic team right now?
It is their ski jumping. It's the ski jumping suits I think they're too big of cross section.
They were caught. The Norway. Hold on.
By the way, as soon as I said ski jumping, Dwayne put his head down and just started shaking his head with a smile on his face. Like, how the hell does Todd know the scandal? Of course he knows. Okay,
of course
please,
he knows.
Continue.
So officials on the Norway national ski jumping team were caught modifying the crotches of the jumpers' suits at last year's World Championships, thanks to a secret video that was posted anonymously on YouTube. Ski jumpers want to fly through the air as far as possible, and a bigger suit provides more lift, like a larger sail catches more wind. The easiest place to enlarge, he notes, is in the crotch. And once the suits
when did Cialis become a worldwide Olympic sponsor? Sorry, uncalled for.
So yes, the Norway ski jumping team has been modifying their uniforms illegally, and it is quite the scandal.
Well, and it's quite the scandal because they're also, generally speaking, the best ski jumpers in the world, right? This would be like if the best baseball player in the world took steroids to hit even more home runs. Luckily, that would never happen here in the great United States of America. So we don't have to worry about this. Those Norwegians, they got a problem. I wonder if their helmets would still fit. Nope, different thing. Okay, nope. Anyway, go ahead.
Nope.
All
right. Question number 2. Todd, why is Tomas Lorenc Guarino Sabate pulling all-nighters this week?
Can you read me that name again?
Tomas Lorenc Guarino Sabate.
Real quick, I didn't need him to read the name again. I just wanted to see if he could do it. Is he the guy who's responsible? Is he the guy who's responsible for the ice sheet where hockey is going to be played with the venue just getting completed like a day or two before the beginning of the Olympics?
Well, I'd say you're close because it does has something to do with ice, but then again, all Winter Olympic sports have something to do with ice and snow. So, no,
Okay.
but it does have something to do specifically with the ice sheet.
Okay.
Guarino Sabate is an Olympic figure skater, and he's been skating all season to a music mix of Minions music from the Despicable Me soundtracks.
And they just got a cease and desist copyright notice.
Yes, they do. Universal Pictures, which owns the subsidiary Illumination, which in turn owns the Minions franchise, told him on Friday, 1 week before the competition starts, that he cannot use the music. By the way, he's done all his routines in an outfit reminiscent of the movie characters, a yellow t-shirt and blue overalls. He's got to find new uniform, new music, new something to wear. I don't know that I'd call it a uniform. Something to wear.
Costume. It's a costume.
Thank you. Yes. And he has to find music that syncs up with the routine that he has perfected.
The crazy thing is, so this came from Comcast, who owns Universal, who owns Illumination, that owns this copyright. Do you know what Comcast also owns?
Broadcast rights for the Olympics?
NBC, which has all of the broadcast rights. Like, guys, synergy. Instead of cease and desist, you should be paying him. As a matter of fact, that should have been a stipulation of NBC telling the IOC, if you want this much money, and they absolutely want the money, this needs to be, oh man, see, this is, you know how like every season, one night of Dancing with the Stars, and again, I use stars real liberally there. Dancing with the Stars has a Disney night because it's owned by ABC. So they have synergy.
Because of course they do.
Hey, everybody. NBC has this. You have to do either your short program or the long program out of the Universal movie library. Oh, you pick Minions. That's really adorable. Sorry, somebody has to wear the inflatable T-Rex costume. Look, these Jurassic Park movies don't pay for themselves. So swear to God, somebody needs to skate around. It's going to be real hard to do that spin, though, with those really short, like your spin's going to be really bad with the short T-Rex arms. It's better than watching that stupid thing swim, though. Swear to God. Anyway. All right, so I got that one wrong.
You did. Question number 3. We've covered Waymo a lot on this podcast, Todd.
Have we?
We have.
Okay.
Todd, what's Skimo? And why am I asking you about it here on the Winter Olympics edition of Todd Oughta Know?
I'm going to assume that Skimo is a ride-hailing application that you can use at the Olympics where random, let's be honest, guys named Tony will show up on their snowmobile, or if you're in Alaska, a snow machine, and then take you anywhere else that you need to go.
If you had come at me with self-driving snowmobiles that you can ride around to get to different venues.
Oh, I went the wrong. Yeah, it's self-driving. They're self-driving. They're not. It's not Uber. Yeah. It's not. No. It's not. No. Damn it.
Yeah, they're self-driving snowmobiles. Oh. Skimo. No. Skimo is the shortened version of ski mountaineering, which is debuting at the Winter Olympics this year, bringing fast-paced vertical and technical racing to the games, where these competitors ski uphill, not just downhill. This isn't downhill skiing. Specialized lightweight equipment, including skis with skins for uphill. They have specialized bindings and breathable gear. There are sprint races, which are 3-minute heats. There's a mixed relay involving 2 and sometimes more ascents and descents per skier. highlighting endurance and quick transitions. They also have to do climbing, so they have to take their skis off, throw them on their back, and then climb. That would be the portage section. Run up a steep designed section on foot, requiring specialized hiking compatible boots, and you still then have to be able to clip the skis on your. I mean, it's quite a thing. Anyway, skimo, ski mountaineering, and I got to figure out when this is on because I am very interested. I'm also interested in curling, but everybody's interested in curling.
If you don't catch it during the Olympics, what I can tell you is, hey, come out here to Salt Lake City. On any given weekend, we can drive halfway up one of our canyons towards the ski resorts, but not to the ski resorts. And you can watch this happen all the time. These are people who don't want to pay for the lift tickets. So they strap the skis. And by the way, I'm not making this up. They strap the skis to their back. They then climb up the mountain and then put the skis on and then ski down and then do that for the day. So you don't have to pay for lift tickets. It also gets you to places that people aren't skiing, and you use the skins to traverse. So I guess it's an Olympic sport now. I guess instead of calling it fair dodging, which really wouldn't. Hey, by the way, what are you doing? Oh, I'm too cheap to pay for a lift ticket. I'm going to instead spend 45 minutes climbing up the side of a mountain. Yeah, that seems like a good use of your time. Yeah, well, hey, at least I didn't have to pay the man.
Well, yes, because what you're paying for is the lift. The skiing is free.
If you go to ski resorts, that is true. The skiing itself is free. Hauling you up to the top of the mountain is what you're paying for.
That's what you're paying for. So if you'd like to just walk, knock yourself out. You don't have to use the lift. Anyway, there's no truth to the rumor that this was invented because the ski slopes for the Winter Olympics were not prepared, much like the ice hockey rink.
Hey guys, are the chairlifts done? The what? We are building chairlifts, right? For what? The Olympics? When? Next week.
Oh.
Hear me out. What if you race up the mountain? Cool. Also, how about if we bring NHL hockey players over, but instead of an ice sheet, they put on all of their gear and they play hockey in about 2 feet of water, a shallow pool. Wouldn't that be cool? Didn't get that done in time either, did you?
No.
We got the water, but not the frozen water. So,
Look, Lindsey Vonn can barely go downhill on one leg. I can't imagine that she can climb up it on one leg, but it's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Anyway, Olympics edition of Todd Oughta Know. Todd goes 1 for 3 this week to 1.5. I'll give you 1.5 on the on the universal.
All right. Thank you.
Once we started down that path, you knew what I was talking about. Let's see. That's a good. Oh, go from winter to frost. The Scott Frost Memorial Idiot of the Week. What do we got?
Smooth segue, by the way. Smooth.
Thank you.
Hey, this one's close to home. Dateline, Dallas County, Iowa. Okay. National news, by the way. National news from Dallas County, Iowa.
Okay.
2 cybersecurity professionals are going to receive $600,000 from Dallas County taxpayers to settle a wrongful arrest and defamation lawsuit. Back in 2019, in September of 2019, these 2 cybersecurity professionals signed a contract with the Iowa. Oh, I just had it. Where is it? Basically, they signed a contract with the Iowa judiciary. So that run the courts, the administrator of the courts, and
Okay.
they were to do testing. In security terms, they were doing pen testing, which stands for penetration testing. You can do that cybersecurity. Basically, it is try to break into our stuff, be the red team, as they call it. Try to break into our stuff and give us a report. The rules of engagement that were spelled out in the contract and in a letter that they had, because you need to have a letter. Do you have a letter, Jack? You need this letter. This specifically said that they could also do physical attacks, including lockpicking against judicial branch buildings, as long as they didn't cause significant damage. Okay. September of 2019, around midnight, they go to the Dallas County Courthouse. Here's how good of security people they are. They found an open door. So here's what they did. They pulled the door shut until it locked and then proceeded to pick the lock to see if they could get into the building instead of just using the open door. They did pick the lock. They did open the door, which then set off the alarm. Deputies arrived and found these guys, and then they produced their letter saying, we have a contract with the judiciary administration of Iowa that says that they asked us to break into this building to see what it is. By the way, real important thing about pen testing, physical or cyber, you tell as few people as possible that you are doing it so they don't prepare for it. Okay. So the deputies look at the letter, according to Ars Technica, they look at the letter and go, well, you have a contract. Guess you're fine. But they're hanging out there for whatever. I don't know exactly why they were waiting there, because then the sheriff decides he needs to come over. So they're waiting until the sheriff gets there. Sheriff gets there. Sheriff is not impressed. He then, in turn, he had them arrested, and they spent the next 20 hours in jail until they could get bailed out. They were arrested and charged with multiple felony accounts. And then eventually the county attorney dropped them to misdemeanor, but still charged them with misdemeanor accounts. And the Dallas County Sheriff continued to say that these men committed crimes and that they needed to be held to the fullest extent of the law. Anyway, 2019. They filed a lawsuit against Dallas County and the sheriff for false arrest, abusive process, defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and malicious prosecution. That case has dragged on for years. Last Thursday, 5 days before the trial was going to start, at least they learned their lesson from NASCAR, settle before the case, not after you start it. Not complete idiots. Anyway, Dallas County officials agreed to pay $600,000 to the two men to settle the case. At some point, you kind of want to feel like, was the sheriff upset that the judicial branch didn't tell him? Because according to him, the county courthouse is his responsibility, not the judiciary. So the contract with that contract doesn't mean anything because that county courthouse belongs to him. This probably could have been settled years ago without taxpayers needing to pay $600,000. Anyway, there you go. Congratulations. Hey, Danny, there's where some of your tax money's going. I have a letter. Don't care. But I have a letter.
You left the door open, Phil.
That's the funny part, right? That's just the hilarious part is they came to do a security test. Somebody just left the door wide open. They could have just walked in, but instead they're like, we're here to test if we could break in. Answer, yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes, they can. Good, strong work, Dallas County. Strong work. How about you? What'd you bring?
So this was in the news today, actually. Dateline Lake Oswego, Oregon, suburb of Portland, Amazon pulls Melania from local theater over marquee jokes. Did you see the story yet?
I saw the headline and actively avoided the rest of the story.
Well, lucky you.
Todd, you can run from the story, but you can't hide. What happened?
So this very small theater in a suburb of Portland, independent theater, booked Melania, booked the movie to show.
The movie, not the person.
Not the person, the movie.
Either documentary or creative expression, depending on who you talk to.
Correct. Yes.
Or bribe. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Not going there. Please continue.
Stop. This is Portland. So it's near Amazon headquarters. So there are some Amazon employees that work and live in the neighborhood.
Okay.
But given that it is also Western Oregon, it is by and large more liberal. So the owner of the theater said that he booked the show as much for the opportunity to make fun of it on the marquee as anything. You know, undoubtedly there are some people that may want to go and see it, but the marquee read at one point, "To defeat your enemy, you must know them. Melania starts Friday."
Oh yeah, I could see that's okay. All right. Yep.
He followed that up with, "Does Melania wear Prada? Find out Friday." After Amazon pulled the plug on it, sent them they said, you're not going to be showing this movie anymore, pulled it. The marquee then read, "Amazon called. Our marquee made them mad. All Melania shows canceled. Show your support at Whole Foods instead," which is directly across the street from the theater. Its last day was Sunday. The Daily Beast, where I got this story, reached out to executives at Amazon Studios for comment. They declined. For the most part, Perry said he picked the documentary so that he could make jokes about the marquee. "I thought doing so would be funny. I try to choose films for the community that they want to see." Okay. I think he sold all of... The blog post said that the theater contributed a measly $196 towards Amazon's MGM reported $8 million gross during its first weekend showing of Melania. Anyway, you know, if you want your movie out there, for me, Amazon is the idiot in this. Certainly not the theater owner. I love the marquees. I think they're hilarious. I'm not going to... anybody that wants to go and see this movie, you know, go for it. It's not going to be me. I'm not reviewing the movie. I'm not passing judgments on the movie, but I am complaining about if you spent $75 million on the movie, wouldn't you want to try to have it play in as many places as possible?
I'm just, you know what, like, what's the point of owning a small independent movie theater if you can't be like, look, best case scenario, we make $200 off this movie. Worst case scenario, we make $0 off this movie, and I have fun with the marquee. That's why I bought the thing, because I own a marquee.
Don't argue with a man who buys his ink by the barrel, right?
There you go.
Yes. Anyway, they don't know who snitched to they don't know who snitched on the local indie theater, but anyway, it's all over the internet, as you well know. Anyway, that was my idiot of the week.
Ironically, this story got the movie more publicity than the $197 they made from selling tickets. I mean, it did. Yeah. Anyway. Hey, a quick travel story. It's not even much of a travel story. I just this weekend had to take a quick flight. Got to fly on the CRJ 550, and I'm just going to tell you, man, that's a nice plane. Like, you take a plane that was designed with 70 seats in mind, and you put 50 seats on it. Like, this is what flying is supposed to be. This is so nice. As a matter of fact, I'm sitting there thinking, like, I could go transatlantic on a plane like this. Now, the plane can't go transatlantic, but I could go. Like, there's, I understand. We're stopping for fuel in Canada and maybe Greenland if we're allowed to land. I don't know. And then maybe Iceland and then Ireland and then the UK. Like, we're fueling up all those places, but you're doing it with a lot of leg room. So very nice. Anyway, that's my entire travel story is. Do you got the CRJ 550 extended range version where they put the extra tank in so we can go? No, anyway, that's fine. So
one less flight attendant makes a world of difference.
Yep.
You may be waiting a little longer to get your soda.
Yeah.
But you don't mind because of the leg room.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It's okay. I put my cooler down at my feet. I brought my own. That's cool. That's fine. I'm good.
Speaking of travel stories, I finished on the way home from Denver. I finished Roof Man on the plane ride home.
The exciting conclusion.
Yes, I finished it, so you didn't have to.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, he goes back to jail.
Well, now what am I supposed to watch? Let's be honest, though. He's living in a Toys R Us. There is no way this has a happy ending in any way, shape, or form.
Nope. The smartest dumb guy I know, I believe, is how he was referred to by one of his friends. Anyway, also, do you remember a show based on a Stephen King idea that's called 11/22/63?
Yeah, that came out on one of the streaming services a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, maybe. Yeah,
it's a time travel thing.
Yeah, a person arrives the day before the Kennedy assassination. Is that?
Well, he arrives in 1960.
Oh, okay.
It's 8 episodes. We're 2 episodes in, but he goes back in time to 1960. So he has time.
Okay.
And the first thing he does, I will tell you,
buy IBM stock. No. Okay.
No, he goes and finds some place to place a bet on a fight that's happening that night so that he can cash in and have money that's from 1960 and not from 2019 or whenever they release this thing. Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we're 2 episodes in. Do you want to watch some more of this? Yes, but not right now. Okay. At some point, yes. It's what we're slowly watching. We're slow binging it, as it were.
And that's on Netflix, right?
Yes, it is on Netflix.
Ironically, that you mentioned that, I was listening to one of the podcasts, one of the episodes this week of The Town, and they were talking about how Netflix goes out and gets these shows that originally aired someplace else that really didn't do that great. You put them on Netflix, you push it onto everybody's front screen. It does pretty well. And then it goes away, right? And they specifically said, yeah, that's exactly what they're doing with that Stephen King thing. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I heard it. And then I saw it here, and I'm like, my goodness, that's exactly what's happening. So, yeah. For us, in our attempt to watch more stuff, kind of, we broadened last week. We broadened our horizons and said, I'm hearing a lot of good things about Traitors. It keeps winning. It's now unseated The Amazing Race, and it's winning the Emmy. Alan Cumming is delightful. We should watch this. And so we watched episode 1 of the newest season. I think it's season 4. Not everything is for everybody. And it turns out, I don't think these styles of shows are for us. I was expecting like a mystery show, right? Like with contestants. But, and I should have known this, more than 50% of the show is people talking to the camera about how they're going to play the game. Okay. Like, I don't just play the game. Well,
Yeah,
I think that this person could be this, but maybe not this. And so I'm going to play dumb because people don't like, can we just do the game? No, it's when everybody knows that they're playing a game and telling you how they're playing the game. I don't know how this is such a great show. Anyway, we watched the first episode. Cliffhanger to find out who gets killed or whatever they blah blah blah. We start watching the second episode. Go, okay. And then I'm like, do you want to keep watching? Lisa's like, no, I'm good. No, I think I've seen enough. So anyway, tried it, didn't like it, not slow binging, just stopped. On the other hand, Shrinking is now back. It comes out, I believe, on Wednesdays on Apple TV. So this is season 3. Man, it's a good show. It's just so good. Anyway, it's one of our favorites, and it's back, and we're happy. So there you go.
I need to finish season 2. Looking at you, Amy. Need to finish season 2, and I would love to start season 3.
But yes, you do need to finish season 2. Absolutely. And not because of like, oh, you wouldn't understand anything that's going on in season 3. Just you need to get to the end of season 2. Yeah.
So the thing I learned this week, or maybe relearned this week.
Yeah.
I think I probably talked about this the last time I went to Story City to pick up our half of beef from Poots Beef.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So here's their door. I'm assuming this is the front door.
Yep. Front door for Story City Meat Locker.
Yep. Okay. Let's see. We've got business hours posted. I don't think there's anything there. Pretty standard. Okay. Cool. Next to that is cashless payments only with no cash above and below. Okay.
They do take checks though.
Okay. Excellent.
So no cash, but
no cash,
if you want to avoid,
checks.
If you want to avoid the credit card fees,
okay,
they'll still take a check. One of the few places around that will still take a check, ironically.
It's Story City. You're probably good for it. Sure.
Yeah.
Right? There's a sticker. Apparently, they either have an ADT security system, or they at least bought a sticker that says they have an ADT security system. Either way, that's fine.
How much is the system? $5,000. How much for just the sticker?
Yeah. You know what? Whatever they want to do. However, I believe what you want me to look at here is the fourth sign that says specifically in all caps, we do not accept wild game in garbage bags. With some clip art from the 90s of a black garbage bag with a hand and a little bit of an arm to let you know, like the big garbage bags, like the big black garbage bags.
It's the clip art that gets me. The clip art is fantastic. I'm pretty sure this sign was there 2+ years ago when we got our last, because I think we may have talked about it. But if you were curious, the thing that I relearned this week is the Story City Locker still does not accept wild game in garbage bags.
Thanks for the update.
You're welcome.
Back to you, Chuck. Out here in Story City, once again, they still don't accept wild game in garbage bags. It's news on the 9s. Back to you.
So if you pick that deer up off the side of the road and throw it in the back of your truck, you can bring it in, but don't bring it in a black plastic garbage bag. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm completely honest, I look at that and I'm like, yeah, the lawyer up part of me is like, so can I bring wild game in like a Birkin? Found this opossum on the side of the road. I did put it in my $35,000 bag, but I wanted to see if the sign was accurate. Will you take that? Also, I mean, what if here another question, and this would be more appropriate. What if you put the wild game, in a recycling bag? Recycling's not garbage, and technically you are recycling the animal. So if you came in, they said that's a garbage bag. No, it's not. It's recycling. Yeah, I'll leave. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm out. I'm also considering, and I don't want to go too far down this, but they won't accept wild game. But if you're like, oh no, this was a neighbor's pet, it's fine.
Domesticated moose.
Yeah. Squirrel said I could have it. Don't trust the squirrel.
How about you? Did you learn anything this week?
Yeah, I did. And like all good what things that you learn, you can have a good time or you can have content. So last Saturday was the start of the 2026 half marathon season for Todd.
Oh.
Yeah, so down at the undisclosed location, completed the local half marathon. This is the 4th year that I've run that one. So this is the first one I did when I started doing all of this. The downside is, since I ran my last half, which was the one which was in October in London that we ran, things have changed a little bit. So we've been moving. So we've been spending our weekends moving or driving back and forth. With this new job, I now have to go into the office, so now I have a commute. So previously I had no commute, which meant, the time spending in a car driving, I could go out and do training runs. And so now I haven't really nailed the whole, how do I balance commuting, being in the office? Also, it's colder here and it has snowed a little bit. And so how do I do all of this? Those are all excuses to say I hadn't really done all of the training that I should have done to prepare for this. And when I say not all of the training that I should have done, just so we're clear, prior to running this on January 31st, if I take a look at my fitness tracker, Dwayne, do you want to guess how many miles I got in the entire month of January prior to deciding to run this 13.1 mile half marathon?
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
When you were living in the disclosed location,
yes,
and regularly working out,
yeah,
how many miles would you typically log during the month of January in preparation for a 13.1 mile run?
Let's say somewhere around 20 miles a week. Ish.
Okay. So my guess is that you managed during the month of January 35 miles?
14.
Oh, and it's not like you can just go out and buy e-shoes.
No. However, January at 14 miles was significantly better than December, where for the entire month I put in a total of 7 miles.
Oh, so like one run?
Two short runs. Yes. So
and several trips to the fridge for more Pepsi.
Yeah. So from all of December and all of January to prepare for a half marathon, I managed to put in a solid 21 miles total instead of 20 miles a week. Lisa the night before said, "What's your goal?" And I said, to finish without injuring myself. And she's like, "That sounds like a pretty good thing." Also, this course, after the first 2 years, the first 2 years were nice, and then last year they changed it, and there's some big hills on this one. I didn't even know these hills existed in our town, including one of the hills where you get to that says, there's a sign that says, "Welcome to the Beast." Yeah, it's cool. When a hill has a name, doesn't even matter what the name is. If you've named the hill. Anyway, so all of that to say, I did finish. I didn't injure myself. Significantly slower than last year.
I bet.
However, I then in the back of my mind said, what is it going to take? The first year I ran this was my very first one. I just want to beat this time. And this is a little bit more difficult course. Like, stretch goal, besides you should stretch, is can I beat this time? I beat it by 31 seconds.
Okay.
So I made the stretch goal and I didn't come away injured. And then I thought, this was stupid. This was just plain, hey, show up at the starting line. Have you trained? No, I'm just going to gut it out. What are you doing? The good news is my next one is in 3.5 weeks. So I need to at least in the last 4 weeks, I've at least done 13 miles of training now for the next one. I really got to figure out how to start running around out here. This is not going to be good for me.
The music is Happy Boy by Kevin MacLeod. You can subscribe to our award-winning podcast with visiting training expert Todd Prinz wherever you get your pods. Just search Talkin' and the number 2. There's no G and no space. No, I was going to tell a story. I'm not going to tell a story. Remind me to tell you the story about no G and no space next week. You can stop by and see us at the Tuba City home office. Please don't do that. Thanks to our listeners, our sponsors, and our contributors. We appreciate you. And as always, you can send us your feedback to feedback@talkingtotodd.com. Todd?
Seriously, Universal needs to tell everybody there's going to be a Universal night in the figure skating, and you got to dress up as one of our characters, because I've been starting to go through this thing, right? So there's plenty to choose from. Just think about Olympic figure skating with crossover nights. Universal, here's some Universal franchises that people could pick from. Just imagine this. We have Wicked. You could do something with Wicked, right? Trolls. Alrighty, now we've got something, right? Super Mario Brothers movie, although you may have to get some sort of cross license. I don't know. Shrek is a Universal property. Also, if you want to start going back into their deeper catalog and you really want to promote them, and I'm not sure. Okay, well, now that I'm looking at this site, I'm like, the site I am now looking at to pull out Universal properties is it telling me that the Marvel Cinematic Universe belongs to Universal, which is absolutely not true. So now I have no idea if what I'm saying is true. Anyway, that's fine. Never stopped me before. Yeah.
Kind of, because there's a Marvel section at Universal Studios. So they do own some rights to some properties, but certainly not all of them. Similarly, Harry Potter. Because all of the Harry Potter worlds are at Universal Studios.
True.
You could also do Marmaduke.
Yeah, I was going to get American Pie. I don't know if that's a really good idea for the Olympics. Back to the Future. Who wouldn't pay to see Doc Brown just skating around trying to come up this the Bourne franchise? You know, hey, you got some good music there. Captain Underpants.
The costumes are suspect, but sure. Go ahead.
Apparently 50 Shades of Grey is also there. So I don't know, be careful. The Purge. Okay. Maybe not. How to Train Your Dragon. We could certainly go with that. Also, remember, however, if you go deep in their catalog, Jaws is a Universal franchise. Like just heading around on that, And
You're
then
going to need a bigger rink.
see, there you go. The stuff just basically writes itself. And the one that I think is the most interesting one is the Fast and Furious, right? Like, who doesn't want to see somebody dressed up like Vin Diesel just skating around and doing flips on the ice?
It's one of the best selling sports movies of all time.
That's what I'm saying. And then you put ice skating in. How could it lose? It'll lose. It'll lose a lot.
It could get the bronze. Anyway, we're probably going to have something we need to clean up next week. Until then, we're here. We're talking to Todd.
I can't believe you guys were joking about how the Olympics would sell out for that. Oh, no, they totally sell out. They just haven't come up with this idea yet. Tell you what, you haven't lived until you've seen an Olympic gold medal figure skating routine set to Boss Baby.
Is that Boss Baby 2? No.
No, the good one.